Mark, we talked before the game just about Orlando's insistence on getting into the paint, and you guys completely denied that tonight. What were some of the most crucial factors in that?
Yeah, I thought for the second straight game, we obviously came out with great pop on both ends of the floor, really connected and locked in with the energy behind it. So guys did a great job from the jump and sustained it pretty well. It's hard to play with that kind of lead when you're up that much in the first quarter. And I thought for the most part, we did a pretty good job of sustaining the same level at both ends of the floor and staying in character despite the lead.
The triple-double for Hartenstein, but it seemed like maybe the most impactful thing had nothing to do with a stat, which is the screening that he gave for you specifically on Isaiah Joe's buckets. What did you see from him tonight in terms of just setting guys up that way?
Yeah, he was awesome. Congrats to him. That's his first career triple-double in like 22 minutes. It's like Westbrook stuff. Yeah, it's impressive. But yeah, he was great. It's great to have him back. The physicality, he guarded Banchero. That's the other thing he did tonight, especially at the beginning of the game. It's obviously a tough cover. That's the guy they play through, and he did a great job there. So he just played a really complete game for us on both ends of the floor.
Who else we got? We have Jenny. Go ahead, Jerry.
Okay. So the arbitrary number here with Shea with over 121 games with 20 straight, and they got that stat out that he's like 5 away from tying Wilt or breaking it. When you have a lead like this and Shea has not gotten to 20, like is there any conscious conversation? Do you guys talk about this beforehand? Or I know how you guys are about numbers, but this is just one of those things that you guys had a big lead and Shea still came in there and put up some pretty good minutes.
Yeah, I mean, no, we don't talk about it. I mean, it was 25 to start the fourth quarter. I had Holmgren and Dort and Wallace and Hartenstein out there with the NBA with the three-point line. You can't really pull the plug that early unless it's 40, or something like that. So, I mean, we play to a point where we feel comfortable that the odds of the other team coming back are so low that, we're good, and then we'll go from there. So that was the thought process tonight.
Mark, you guys were so good on the ends of the court. Did you sense that one was bleeding into the other, or have the guys sort of, hit some sort of stride that they're just playing well overall?
Yeah, no, it's a fluid game, so because of the nature of that, your offense has an impact on your defense and vice versa, and so when you're in the type of rhythm offensively that we were in tonight, and then when you're as stingy as we were defensively tonight, it puts you in advantageous spots heading in the other direction because of the game flow. So that's the benefit of playing as well as we did tonight. You don't always play that well, and you got to sometimes drum up one end of the floor or the other as a result of that. But tonight we were obviously in a great team flow.
I know you're not to the All-Star break just yet, but if this sort of momentum can continue, what does that set up? Does it mean anything to you to head into that extended break playing pretty darn well?
I mean, we just want to play well in every game. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not, big into like momentum. We're 2 games removed from the Minnesota game where, it looked like we had no momentum at all, and then we turn around 40 hours later and beat a really good team on the road and turn around tonight and play really well. So I'm not sure how much the previous game impacts the next one. We just try to get ourselves ready for the next challenge in front of us, throw our best punch at it, learn from it, and then rinse and repeat 82 times. And hopefully if we do that, we look up and we're better at the end of the year than we were at the beginning.
You talk about Paolo being a tough cover. There were times that 6'3" Lou Dort guarded him, and then 7' Isaiah Hartenstein. Can you talk about the versatility of these guys to both be able to guard a player like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a luxury for us, just the amount of impactful defenders that we have, and they're different stylistically, even when they're similar positionally. Holmgren and Hartenstein are different, Caruso and Dort are different, and it allows us to move those matchups around on a guy like him that gives him different looks. Hartenstein's guarding him and is gapping him pretty aggressively, and then you turn around and a couple possessions later, he's got Dort in his shirt, and that gives, when you're dealing with a player of that talent level, you don't want them to get a steady dose of the same pitching, and so it allows us to use personnel to mix looks even within a possession sometimes, and it's a huge luxury. The guys do a great job of executing that.
The Magic usually take around 30 shots in the restricted area every night. They had 15 tonight.
Yep.
What strategy do you think helped with that the most?
I mean, I think it's the primary on the ball guys to start, and then it's a lot of help as we always do, going back to our personnel, because of the range we have defensively, the ability to cover ground because of either length or athleticism or both, we can be pretty aggressive with our help and still recover and contest shots late. So it takes a lot of effort to do that, but usually when we're tuned up pretty good, we put the requisite effort forward, and that's what allows us to, do both, so to speak.
Isaiah Joe's been a high-level three-point shooter for a while, but it seems like he's taking more aggressive, harder threes,
Yep.
step backs, deeper threes, more contested ones. What's the sort of advantage of that, of him being willing to take those, and were there any sort of conversations about that over the offseason to sort of like push him in that direction?
Yeah, for sure. The guys, Wiggins was like that a couple years ago too. If their volume and efficiency on that volume is predictive of warranting more volume, then we try to figure out ways to get them more volume, which is maybe involving them in different actions or just encouraging them to shoot against harder closeouts. In his case, it's getting him on the move a little bit more. But we just know his gravity is such that, they're going to go chase him and play him, and that opens things up for everybody when he's doing that. So we've certainly encouraged it. He's worked really hard on it. And we've tried to tick up the volume because as we see, almost any shot he takes is above the threshold of what is an efficient possession for us, and so it's valuable when he's ripping off those screens and shooting the ball like that.
Anybody else for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Yep.